The laptop market is currently stretching to absolute extremes. On one end, you have the M5 Max MacBook Pro, a $6,000 machine with multi-core CPU performance that sits at the top of the charts for every Mac ever made. But the real industry shift is happening at the opposite end of the spectrum, with the $600 MacBook Neo. The Neo is causing genuine concern among PC manufacturers. One ASUS executive recently described the release as a shock to the industry. The contrast on the Windows side is sharp. Take the Dell XPS 14, a premium machine with an OLED display and the latest Intel Panther Lake chip, which carries a $2,200 price tag. This price gap raises a specific question for the entire industry. Why can a $600 Mac offer a seamless experience, while a $2,200 Windows laptop arrives with inherent compromises? The friction begins the moment you boot up a high-end PC. A new XPS 14 often requires a 45-minute setup process, filled with forced software updates and mandatory restarts. Then there are the mandatory integrations. Windows 11 pushes Microsoft 365 and OneDrive sign-ins immediately, while every new keyboard now includes a physical Copilot button to meet Microsoft's AI PC requirements. Even at this premium price, the desktop experience is frequently interrupted by third-party advertising, like the McAfee security pop-ups that appear on brand-new $2,000 machines. These frustrations represent a calculated financial strategy. Even at the highest price points, the Windows user experience is pulled in different directions by the competing priorities of the companies that built it. This fragmentation is a direct result of the PC industry's structural foundation, the profit chain. Dell starts by buying the processor from a third party, like Intel. Next, they pay to license Windows for Microsoft. Finally, Dell handles the physical design and assembly. Because these are separate companies, each must extract a profit margin from the final retail price. This creates a bloatware subsidy. To keep the final price competitive despite those stacked margins, PC makers sell the user's attention to third parties, preloading the machine with ads and trial software to offset the cost of the parts. Apple operates on a different economic model entirely, vertical integration. Apple owns the production stack. They design their own silicon, write the macOS code, and engineer the hardware in-house. Dealing only with themselves removes compounding markups found in the Windows ecosystem, significantly lowering the internal cost. This unified design allows the hardware and software to operate with a level of responsiveness and power efficiency that off-the-shelf components struggle to match. The premium feel of a Mac isn't just a design choice. It is the result of an economic structure that doesn't need to compromise for third-party partners. Vertical integration explains how Apple makes a better machine, but it doesn't fully explain the $600 price of the MacBook Neo. Even with efficient manufacturing, that price is aggressive. The MacBook Neo functions as a customer acquisition tool designed to prioritize market reach over immediate hardware profits. Apple is treating the laptop as a loss leader, using the hardware to open a gate to a much larger continuous revenue stream. The Neo is a Trojan horse. By bringing in first-time Mac buyers with an affordable, high-quality machine, Apple captures users who would have otherwise bought a budget PC. The real profit happens after the purchase. Once a user is in the ecosystem, they often become long-term subscribers to iCloud, Apple TV+, and AppleCare, transitioning a one-time sale into years of recurring payments. This strategy is working. Tim Cook recently noted that the Mac just saw its best launch ever for first-time customers. This leaves Windows manufacturers in a difficult position, trying to maintain their business on hardware margins alone, while their primary competitor treats the computer as an entry point for software sales. PC makers are trying to sell a product in a market where Apple is selling a subscription, using subsidized hardware to win a battle that traditional manufacturers aren't equipped to fight.